Good noon world. It's coming at 12 o'clock. Why are you making a video so early? Because the boss cut me. Today was slow. He told me either you clean, you clean or you leave, and I chose to leave. I'm like, I'm not fucking cleaning. I don't want to clean that, So I left the other guy alone. I felt bad for him. But to be fair, I worked Saturday alone, which was busier than today. But today was not busy at all 40, so the boss cut me. That's why I'm making my video. I just got back from work, which means less money for me. I'm gonna make my 500 something because I only worked like a 3-hour shift, 2.5 hours, 3 hour. I ended at like 11:30, 11:40. So I worked like a 3-hour shift. Not that much money. Why do restaurants cut you? Because if the restaurant's not busy, it means it's not making that much money. They have to cut people. Otherwise, they won't be able to afford to pay them, right? Yeah. Obviously. You should own a restaurant when you're a kid. Nah, I'm not interested in restaurants. I don't care about restaurants, yeah. I don't care about hotels. I don't care. The only thing that's pretty cool is parks, obviously, but parks is risky. You lose a lot of money going to a park. Parks, you have high cost. You have high cost for parks. Yeah. What's your idea for your park? Well, my idea for my park, even though I'm not going to build a park, my idea for a park was like a water world park. They build this big artificial like lake, and you have roller coaster rides that go inside the water, and you see animals and everything. That's my idea for a park. For that, you have to put like $1.5 billion towards it. I'm not interested in owning a park. Yeah. My dream is being a movie star. It's not owning a park or a hotel or a restaurant. I don't care about those businesses. Yeah. My voice is giving out. I don't know what's going on here. Some cider. And I make way more money with movies than I would owning a hotel or a park, right? Or a restaurant, right? Yeah. I'd probably still make my billions for that stuff too, but not the kind of money with movies. Movies, games, and books is like number one. I make my billions off that, a lot of money off that. That's glory, the glory of God, right? As I'm pretty sure you guys are, yeah, Ivan, the one business we want to see you start is a film studio. We want to see you in a movie. Yeah, that's glory. That's why I'm starting Scotch Entertainment VJ. We're going to start our film studio together. Me and VJ. I'm putting Vicks on my throat, guys. My nose is a lot better though. It's only a little bit stuffed, but yeah. Will VJ want to start another business? The only business I think VJ might want to start is a music production company, because VJ loves music too. But I'm gonna tell her no. I don't want to start a music production company. I don't want to be stressed out doing music and doing movies. It's just more work for us. But VJ will tell me, I mean, even though I love music, I'd rather be a movie star with you. Yeah, being a movie star is much more cool than being a famous musician, right? Yeah, you go on a tour and you sing, you sing music songs, but it's much cooler being a movie star than being a musician, right? Yeah. Ivan, you're actually considering They're Unique, writing They're Unique. I'm like, yeah, I might write it. Once I get my book proofed, I might consider writing it. I'll make more money. I'll make my 20 plus billion, obviously, before I write They're Unique. I highly doubt it. Xanus is good enough, but I might consider writing They're Unique. Yeah. But I have this fear that it won't be that good. Because Xanus, I set the staff for Xanus, I can't write a better novel than that. Even though I know I'm a creative genius, I have my doubts too. Like, what if it's not good? Is like Xanus. Yeah, and I haven't written in a while, so I have to start writing again to let my creativity flow again, because I haven't written in a long time. Last time I wrote Xanus was 2019, man. 2020 in the hospital. Yeah. Because I'm a creative genius, I write There and Eagle will be a masterpiece too, because I'm a creative genius, obviously. Yeah. I have the gifts, creative gifts, right? Use Ivan, write There and Eagle, make more money. Yeah, I might write There and Eagle, VJ. We'll see what happens. Yeah, romance story, yeah. But I have to buy a laptop first. I don't want to write it on the computer there. I want to write it on my laptop. And if I write There Unique, I'll film myself writing the entire novel on my laptop. When I write on my notebook, I won't film that. Or I can film me writing on my notebook too. Yeah. Yeah. Guys, it's not fair. You're increasing the salaries for the head chefs, but not the actors. Yes, because the Hollywood actors are paying them their millions. They're not making that kind of money. The head chefs are not making the kind of money that the actors are making. Eric Rezahaki are not making their millions. They're making a lot of money, but their contract is pocket change compared to the Hollywood actors. The Hollywood actors are making their millions, man. They're tens of millions. The A-listers are making their tens of millions. That's why I'm not increasing the salary. I don't want them duping me sometimes. Yeah. Yeah. Eric Rezahaki, I'll pay them a $30,000 bonus for Xanus, and they get $250,000 the third year, $250K the fourth year, and another $30,000 bonus. So they sign a $560,000 deal, which is $300,000 plus thousand after taxes. It's a lot of money for them. They can get their what? Their $500,000, $600,000 house with an outdoor pool. Yeah, beautiful house they can buy in Gatineau, Elmer. Yeah, it's a good deal for them. And they'll be the boss over my Sky Source kitchen. They're the boss over the kitchen, obviously. How will it work with the kitchen, Ivan? I'm going to rent a building, a big building in Switzerland that can seat 1,500 people, and then I'm gonna put a kitchen in there. high-end kitchen appliances, and that's where the chefs are going to make the food for the cast and crew for Xanus. Logan's Hollywood crewmen and the actors, Hollywood actors for Xanus. My throat's giving out. What's going on here? Yeah. And they're going to be the boss over the kitchen, but they're not the boss over me and VJ. Me and VJ are the boss over them. Yeah, Eric, Reza, Haki. You may be the boss over the kitchen, but you can't tell me what to do. I'm the boss over you now, right? At Coco 40, you may boss me around, but you're not bossing me around anymore. I'm the boss over you. But you guys are the boss over the kitchen. You're the boss. Yeah. Samsara. And Tony will be my boss dishwasher. I'll pay him his $300K for 2 years. $150K the third year. $150K the fourth year. That's a good deal for Tony. He's making like $180,000 for taxes. Tony, a lot of money for Tony, right? As my dishwasher. And if I make more than 20, I'll pay Eric Rezahaki $660,000 for 2 years. $300K salary. And $660,000 is $400 plus thousand after taxes. And they can even get a $700,000 house. $650,000 house. A nice fucking house. But chances are they're going to make the $250,000. Yeah. Because I'm going to probably make maybe my 10 off the book, right? 10.8 billion off the book. I was wondering how your book, by the way. I made $10.8 billion. You made $10.8 billion off your book. I'm like, yeah, I did. She's like, holy shit, that's a lot of money. I know. It's a lot of money. Yeah. Will Eric Rezahaki cry? They might cry, yeah. When I offer them that contract, that $5,000-$6,000 contract, they might cry. I even thank you, man. Like, you changed my life with this money. Yeah. They're now rich. They're not multi-millionaires, but they're part of the 1%. They're rich now. They're making a lot of money. And they can get out of the apartment and they can now buy a house. They're immigrants from Afghanistan. They immigrated to Canada and now they're successful in working in a first world country, right? There's a lot of people move to Canada, States to live a better life because Canada and the United States are first world countries. They're powerful, high economic countries, and there's more opportunity here than the Middle East and Africa. You guys see what I'm saying here? Yeah. Even though they signed massive deals, their contract compared to me and VJ's contract is pocket change, man. Me and VJ signed a mega deal with Amazon. We're a fucking boss, man. Yeah. I'm sorry. VJ told me, oh, Ivan, while we're paying the Hollywood actors is enough. If they want more money, don't pay them more, Ivan. Like, they're duping us, yeah. And I know you guys are pissed off, all you Hollywood actors. There's a reason why me and VJ are making more than you, because we're the boss. And we're much bigger than you guys. That's why we're making way more than you. I'm sorry. Yeah, John Mega signed like his 20, 21, 22 million deal. You know, then G-Mon's you signed his like 22, 23 million deal, 23 million deal. Yeah, me and VJ signed our mega, I don't know, 7, 8 billion deal for the movie. Their contract is pocket change. That's why I'm making sure the actors get paid, considering me and VJ are making way more than them. That's why I want to pay them more, VJ. That way my company's better in Hollywood. And the actors are not pissed off, considering me and you, VJ, are making our billions off the movie and the merch and the game. I'm saying, man, my voice is giving out. What's going on here? Jeez, man. Yeah. After this, I'm gonna go pick up my dentist check. Get my beer and smokes. Today's my cheat day, so I'll get junk food. I might get Glenwood burgers. They're burgers. I'll get 2 burgers and like 2 drinks. That's good enough. They have big burgers, right? Yeah. Ivan, will you do a Sky Source Walk of Fame? Yes, I will have that too. I'm gonna do a thing where all the actors who are in my movie, the major stars, you get this star on my parking lot, like Hollywood. Only the major stars. The minor ones don't get that, obviously. You have like this Walk of Fame. All these are the actors who work for Sky Source. You can do that and make it interesting, obviously. Yeah, on my property. Yeah. I'm gonna own a nice like head office, man. Me and Meech are gonna own a beautiful office, yeah, like Gran Turismo. Fucking nice. Yeah, man. That's why once the property's built, he's like, oh my god, Ivan, this is so beautiful. I know. We own all this. I know we do. We own all this. Holy shit, I know. And we we do a party in our house. She's like, cheers, Ivan. We're gonna be famous movie stars. We're gonna sign that magnet with Amazon. Yeah, huge deal. Amazon. Yeah. Yeah. But once the house is built, I don't know, once me and VJ's 500 million house is built, if I make 10 on my book right, we now have to buy all the stuff for the house, which is a lot of work. We have to buy the couches, the kitchen appliances, you know what I'm saying, bed sheets, blankets, pillows, hangers, you know what I'm saying, stuff to decorate around the house, a lot of work. Towels. Yeah. Well, the towels we'll buy when we do our clothes shopping, right? Yeah, we'll buy the towels when we do our clothes shopping. The clothes I will buy before the house is even built, while we're staying in the hotel. Then once the house is built, we now have to buy hangers. It's a lot of work, man. Yeah. I'm gonna get like a 100, 200 inch TV, like a $10,000, $20,000 TV. I can easily afford it for my living room. We have our private IMAX theater room. We also have our TV in our living room, obviously. The private IMAX theater room is for when me and VJ watch movies. And the TV in the living room is for watching other stuff too, obviously. Because the documentary I'll watch in my living room on my nice flat screen TV. Whereas when we want to watch movies, especially our movies, we watch it in the private IMAX theater room. And sometimes we also watch movies in the living room too. Because I'll have a TV in my living room, like a nice 200-inch TV. The best ones in the world I can buy, easily affordable. Me and VJ are multi-billionaires, we're rich now, yeah. That's why VJ cries you, Ivan, because she's crazy. I want to be featured in magazine. I want to sign that magazine with Amazon with Ivan. I want to be a famous movie star with Ivan for Xanus. I want to be featured on the Sky Source News and the magazine pages. I want to travel with him, and I want a piece of his billions off his book. I want to build that 5-year house with him, go close out with him. You know what I'm saying? Get those high-end cars with him. Yeah, she's fucking crazy, VJ. Yeah. Get the yacht with him, the jets with him. Yeah, she's crazy, man. That's why she cries. And she knows she got duped by the gate. She's fucking stupid, man. Oh, my God. She got duped by the gates, man. And that's why she's crying to me to get her out of Hollywood, because she knows I'm her last hope. Without me, she's fucked. She's staying in Hollywood forever, right? Because she's so lost. She's fucking stupid. Yeah. So VJ doesn't want to be left behind. Yeah. VJ knows when I'm king, it's the end of the world. She doesn't want to be left behind in Hollywood with a shitty career while I'm living that amazing multi-millionaire life. I'm a famous movie star. I'm finding a movie with my own cash. I signed that medal on Amazon, and she signed her shitty contracts in Hollywood, like her $300K. She'll be crushed, man. Now, VJ's baby, she can't do that, man. I'm her husband, yeah. And why I'm special, I'm VJ's husband. She can't do that, yeah. VJ's my spirit. Yeah. And she also wants to see light. She loves me light. She wants to be with me. She's fucking crazy, that woman. And after that, you bad guys after that. That's why I can't take you seriously, VJ. You're a crazy woman. Yeah, man. I'm sorry, man. I like those guys too. Yeah, I like the chick too. There you go. I'm not gonna have you too, man. No way. Don't hate him, son. Yeah. Will she be yelling at you? Yeah, she will. She's gonna give me hell. I sleep every night when I'm hanging out with the jig and she's yelling at me and like she's like, "Fuck you, Ivan. I fucking hate you. I'm gonna fucking kill that bitch, Ivan. I'm gonna fucking kill her." Yeah, I'm like, "Oh man, relax, man." She's like, no, like fuck you, Ivan. It hurts. You're hurting me. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, VJ, shut up, man. You can't say shit. I shut you for good, man. And she's yelling at me. I just close my eyes. I ignore her because she's a crazy woman, man. Yeah. Ivan just ignores me when I give him hell. Yes, I'm going to ignore you because you're a cheating whore. I can't take you seriously, VJ. You're a crazy woman. Yeah. You want your full cake, but you're not gonna get your full cake. There you go. Yeah. Yeah. Will you have awards for your company? No, because it's one movie. Awards in Hollywood was when movies and television shows compete with each other. So for my company, because it's one movie, there is no awards. I'm not gonna have any awards for my company. It's a private company. I'm only doing one movie. There's no awards for my movie, but all the major stars get this like a Walk of Fame thing on my property to know that these were the famous actors who were in Ivan's movie. You can do that to make it interesting, but there's no awards for my company because it's one movie. Best actor goes to what? Ivan O'Mara every movie? Yeah. How's that gonna work, right? Because when I'm in the movie, me and Regent movie, me and her are gonna steal the show. Hence, there's no point of doing what best actor. Best actor will always go to Ivan O'Mara. Yeah, my movie's right. Yeah, there's no point of doing awards. I steal the show, man. Yeah, me and Regent steal the show. Yeah. I hope I get that Shadow Carson job. I applied there 2 days ago. They haven't gone back to me. But yeah. Shadow Carson is a fucking nice hotel. Holy shit. When I went inside, I'm like, holy shit, it's a high-end luxury hotel, man. It's like a 5-star hotel. It's fucking nice. I went inside, I didn't know it was that nice. It's a huge hotel too. And the restaurant's a beautiful restaurant, man. Yeah. And one of the guys who I hung out with in high school, he works there. I saw him there. Me and him were not bad. I smoked weed with him. I went to his house one time and he gave me a cheesecake. You know who you are, yeah. Me and him were not bad friends in high school. I hung out with him quite a bit. Yeah, he works there. I think he's a waiter. He's a waiter there, yeah. He works there. That's how I know I'm getting old, because all the guys who I hung out with at Darcy, they all have good paying jobs. They make their 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 100K a year. They make good money, and I'm working minimum wage because the gate's locking the doors on me, man. But I wrote my Zane's book, that brand's mine. Nobody's touching my brand. That brand's mine. It's my money. Nobody's touching my money. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Yeah. God, my paycheck will be shitty this paycheck. 500 something, yeah, maybe 580 I get paid. Yeah, that's why I'm looking for another job. I don't make enough money at Coco Fruity. I used to make my 800, 900, but now the other guy, the new guy, he's full time and I'm part time. And I should be full time. I worked there longer than the other guy, and yet he's full time and I'm part time, right? Yeah. That's why I'm looking for another job. Full time job. I want to work 5 days a week. Yeah. Yeah. So Ivan, the Hollywood actors agents are greedy. Yes, they are, Ivan. Beware of the agents in Hollywood and managers. They're greedy pigs. The actors, managers, and agents are greedy, man. That's why you gotta be careful for those guys. They're gonna push for more money. I'm gonna be strict and say no. I'm not paying these actors more money. This is enough. They don't make this in Hollywood. I'm not gonna have them do me some Sarah. Yeah. I'm not kidding around. Like, John Boyega's agent might push for 20 million of the film profits. I'm like, no, man, John's not worth that. He gets his 8.5. If he's worth like 18, 19, 20 million by then, I can give him 10. 10 million of the film profits. That's good enough. He's not worth 20, man. The ones who are worth 20 are the guys who are worth their like 50 plus million. 50, 55, those guys are worth 20 plus million. The guys under that are not worth that, Samsara. The small A-listers, right? Because the way I see it, you have bigger ones and smaller ones. Smaller, they're A-listers, but they're smaller rank, and you have the bigger ones who are worth like 7. The ones who are worth like 70 plus million, I see you as a bigger A-lister. If you're worth under that, you're a small A-lister. That's why in the documentary you're gonna see smaller A-lister. Yeah, guys, put that in the documentary. Smaller A-lister, bigger A-lister, rising star, B-list actor, B-lister, right? Yeah. Television guys, yeah. No, I've more A-list actors. No, if you're a television star, you're not an A-list actor. A-list actor means you're a big movie star. You're on the big screen. If you're on the small screen, you're not an A-list actor. There's exceptions. There are some A-listers who are obviously do television too, who get paid like A-lister salary. Like Norman Reedus, the Friends actors, those guys are A-list actors, but they're A-listers in the television business. There is exceptions. There are some A-listers in the television business. But usually A-lister means you're a big movie star. That's what it means generally, right? Generally speaking, right? You have to be a big movie star to be an A-lister. If you're not a big movie star and you're on the small screen, you're not an A-lister, you're a B-list actor. A B-lister. That's the way I see it. No, I have more A-list actors. No, you're not. You're a B-list actor. You're not on the big screen. You're not an A-list actor. So you're really saying that if you're on the small screen and you make $800K a year, $1 million a year for a television show, you're an A-list actor? You're not, man. You're a B-list actor. The A-listers are the ones who do big budget movies who make their millions. Yeah. Or tens of millions, yeah. That's why beware of the greedy agents who represent the bigger A-listers, Ivan, the greedy pigs. Yeah. So the agents will try to push for money, yeah, they will. Von Jose's agent might try and push for $7 million for Von Jose. I'm like, no, he gets 4. He's not getting more than 4. He's not worth any more than that. He's a beast actor. I'm not going to pay him 7, man. He's not worth that. So I'm saying, Ivan, what about like 4 million for Avon Joje and like 8 million of the film problems? I'm like, no, he gets 5.5. He's not worth any more than that. So I'm saying, Avon Joje isn't even worth taking my royalties for Xanus because he's a biggest actor. Because how it works for my company, the biggest actors don't get royalties. Only the A-listers get royalties. But for Xanus, it's a special story. I'm willing to give even the biggest actor royalties. That way they work hard for me and I get a better movie. That's what. That's why I'm giving Avon Joje royalties. That way he works harder for me and I get a better movie. Because Xanus is a special story, hence why it's the exception. Where I'm giving all my major stars a piece of royalties. But after that, only the A-listers get royalties. The beast actors don't get shit. Your agents can try and be as convincing as you can, guys. And your managers are not getting any royalties off the movie. They're not worth that. Yeah, paying a beast actor 2.5, 3 million, 4 million, like $1.5 million for the game is a good contract. They don't make that in Hollywood. In Hollywood, they make their like 1,800,000, 500,000, 600K for the television shows. Now there's exceptions where some of them can even make 2-3 million. But on average they make like 1,800,000, 900K for television shows, these actors. As I'm paying more than what you make in Hollywood. On average, right? Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah. Will you have your president sign the actors or you and VJ? No, me and VJ will personally sign the actors because we're the big boss. But the rest of the crewmen, the Hollywood crewmen, the presidents have to sign them, obviously. So Jon Favreau, Peter Rice, James Gunn, Peter Savage, whoever I choose, they have to sign the rest of the Lord of the Rings Hobbit crewmen for Xanus. And the Grey Escape too, the Hollywood crewmen for the Grey Escape. Yeah. Sarah? Will you have the actors sign their contracts in your office or the boardroom? The boardroom. They sign their contracts in the boardroom. Yeah, me and VJ are seated on one side, the Hollywood actors are seated on another side, and they sign their contracts in my nice boardroom. I'm gonna have a document film now, like Shark Tank. You see, when I offer them the contracts, you actually see the contracts written on the screen. That's what I'm looking at, a sick documentary with beautiful music. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at, a very entertaining documentary. The best documentary ever made, right? I'm making all my documentaries for $10 million. Yeah. That's the budget of a romance independent movie, right? Looking at an amazing documentary with independent movie cameras. Yeah, beautiful documentary. Yeah. You think Peter will tell you to go for Russell Crowe? Yeah, he might. Ivan, choose Russell Crowe. He's gonna help Bill Buzz for the movie Ivan. But Russell Crowe, I have to pay him a lot of money, right? Big bucks, obviously. But it'll help build more buzz because he's a very big, powerful actor in Hollywood. But for him, you have to pay him a lot of money. You have to put more money into the budget. Yeah, him and Timothy Chalamet, right? Yeah. Russell Crowe, I have to pay him his $18 million for his base, and then a $9.7 million like signing bonus, and you give him $55 million of the film profits. Gets $4 million for the game, and he gets like $3 million for the merch. That's like a $90 million deal. But he lives in Australia, so he signed his $100+ million deal, $103 million deal, whatever it is. Russell Crowe. So he's walking away with like 50-something million in his bank. After taxes and his manager and agent's cut, right? I've ordered $1 million for the promos, Russell Crowe. I'm like, guys, man, you're getting greedy. I'm not going to pay Russell Crowe $1 million for the promo. He gets $300K. You guys are fucking greedy pigs and you're pissing me off. I know you smell blow in the water. You want to make more money. You want to make more money for yourself. I'm not paying more than this. He doesn't make this and all. What's the deal? Yeah, I give you a deal. Russell Crowe's like, holy shit, you're coming bulls out of the water. A $90 million deal, which is $100 million in my Australian money. Holy shit, you're coming bulls out of the water. I don't make this and all. I make like my 15, 12, 20, 25 in Hollywood, Ivan. I know Russell Crowe, but I call me bulls out of the water. Does it come with perks, Ivan? Yes, guys, it comes with perks too. Parting out my yacht, tables in my yacht, tables in my office, part out my office, part out my house, my $500 million house. Those are nice perks. Limo services, staying at the suites during training, in a hotel, yeah. But Russell Crowe has to drop weight for the movie if he's chosen, right? Yeah, Russell Crowe, you gotta lose a good maybe 30 pounds for the role. You gotta get in shape and he has to work out, obviously. And my trainer nutritionist will give his agents the workout plan and then his nutrition plan too. He has to eat good food, his chicken, his salad, protein salad. Me and Vijay have to eat well too, protein salad while we're training. Yeah. Hence why during the movie when the Xanus stars eat their lunch, their dinner, obviously the nutritionist might tell them to balance their diet. Okay, you guys gotta eat some of the veggies, right? You can't just eat the fat food. Eat one plate of veggies and all of the good stuff, and after that you can eat your junk food, obviously. Yeah. Well, you balance your diet, right? That's why you have to have a big salad bar too for the actors. That way they eat the greens. It's important to eat the greens, right? Very important. Yeah. Yeah. After this video, I'm gonna pick up my check at Dinty's, my tip out. Because I only work once a week, I get a shitty tip, maybe a $25 tip. I get, right? Yeah. Yeah. Some there. Ivan, please write their unique. I might write their unique, guys. We'll see what happens. Yeah. You already have the whole story plan in your mind? Yeah, pretty much. I already made a video about my idea for their unique. So I kind of have the whole story pre-planned in my mind. Because I'm a creative genius, obviously. Yeah. For their unique, I'm also going to write I have an idea for a prologue too. I'm also going to write a prologue too. For their unique. What's your idea for the prologue, Ivan? My idea for the prologue is how Dawn and Megan became best friends when they were kids in school. And how Josh and Jake become best friends. And they make a pact nothing will ever separate our friendship when they're kids. Because I'm a creative genius. That's genius, I know. My idea is Dawn goes to a private school. My idea is they meet each other in like junior high, and Dawn goes to a private school and she meets Megan. Whereas Josh and Jake go to a public school. Josh and Jake are living the poorer life, and Dawn lives the rich life, obviously. When she meets Megan, they go to a rich private school, and they make a pact nothing will ever separate our friendship. And after that, it transfers to what you guys read when she's in the airport, and that's my different story. I'm a creative genius. Yeah, you're creative. Yes, I am. I have the gift. I might consider writing their unique. I'll make more money, right? I'll make my 20 plus billion off the 2 books. What book do you think would be better, Ivan? I think Xanus will take the cake, but the woman might like their unique better because women love romance. Yeah. They're unique when you read it. It's just as good as Xanus when you read it, right? But you see a difference. Xanus is like, it's different writing, it's different style of writing. It's a fantasy world. Whereas their unique is in the modern times. They speak differently, right? Yeah. Ivan, that's a 6-star to your story. I know. I'm a creative genius. Yeah. But before I even think about writing their unique, I have to save my money and get my Xanus book proofread and design my cover. And then I'll start thinking if I should write their unique or not. Which I might perhaps dedicate. Okay, Ivan, plan out your story, dedicate a good, write a few notes here and there, and dedicate a good 5 months. Write 5 pages every day. I'll finish my book. Their unique will be maybe a 150,000 page book. Yeah. Romance is tough too because you have to be good. You have to be good at portraying emotion on the page because it's love, right? It's romance. That's why romance is difficult too to write. Not as hard as fantasy, but it's difficult to write romance too because you have to be good at portraying emotion. It's love, right? Romance, yeah. Some Sarah. And my idea is Josh has a lumberjack beard. He's a virgin. He's like a 35-year-old virgin. Whereas his friend Jake is not a virgin. Symbolism of me. I'm a virgin, 33-year-old virgin, yeah. And that 30, they make a pact, nothing will ever separate our friendship. And when Josh meets Dawn, that affects their friendship, obviously. That's why you're looking at a masterpiece for their NE too. An amazing story. Yeah. Because I've been pleased by their unique. I might write their unique, sweetie. I might write it. We'll see what happens. Yeah. Yeah. But you do have that fear. Yeah, even though I know I'm a creative genius, I have self-esteem issues too. Because Xanus is so good, I'm scared if I write there unique, it might not be that good. Yeah, what I'll do is I'll read it, and if it's not that good, I'm not going to release it. But I know it will be a masterpiece because I'm a creative genius. It will be good, but it will not be. I don't think it will be as good as Xanus, so it'll be an amazing story too. But I have that fear of what if it's not like good compared to Xanus. Xanus, I set the standard. You have that fear, right? Because I also have self-esteem issues too, right? Yeah. Even though I know I'm a creative genius, I'm human. I have my doubts too, my self-esteem issues, obviously. Yeah. Since I and stay tuned, guys. Next month I'll be vlogging with Tony. In a good maybe 2 weeks I'll vlog with him in the Shanes. So I'll bike there. We drink at the bar for a couple of hours. I'm gonna get drunk at the bar. I'm gonna drink maybe like 8 beers at the bar, and after that we eat with him, and in the video it might be maybe a 2-3 hour video. I'll vlog with Tony. So stay tuned for that, Walt. I'll text him, hey, you want to have a drink at the bar? Yeah, sure. I'm vlogging. It's okay if I vlog? Yeah, Ivan, it's fine. Vlog. Last time he says, yeah, Ivan, it's fine. You can show my face on camera, right? Yeah. You guys saw him, yeah. That's Tony, the guy with the glasses. That's Tony, yeah. My ex dishwashing partner. He doesn't work at O4 anymore. He left, right? Like 2 months ago, he left. Yeah. Obviously. Yeah. I might get more coffee, guys, in a sec. Yeah. Yeah. Ivan, your book will be more popular than Harry Potter. Yes, and if I write There Unique, it'll be more popular than Twilight. Looking at the best romance story ever told. Because I'm a creative genius. Yeah. I'm sorry. As I read, Ivan, look at you now. You're a successful author. When I release my book and I mail that money, yeah, I'm successful now. I'm a successful author. Yeah. That's why everyone hates you with the keys, Ivan, because they know I have the keys to the kingdom. That's the ticket to the financial control and success in this world. The keys is the ticket to success in this world. You know how many people I see doing the lottery thing? Like to win like $20, $50 million, and I have the keys to the kingdom. I have the lottery, the billions, man. Easy billions. I have the keys to the kingdom. Yeah, that's why everyone hates you with the keys. That's how I open the door so easily. That's why they talk and they hate on you with the keys. Because I'm opening the door so easily. Yeah. Do they choose to hate on you? Yeah, they choose to hate on me because they're envious. I'm opening the door, that's why they choose to talk and hate on me. Yeah, let's make Ivan uncomfortable. What he thinks about, let's talk about it and hate on him with the keys. But they're only hating on me because they're jealous. They know I can open the door so easily. I have the keys to the kingdom. Easy billions, man. I'm going to be a successful author. A successful best-selling author. Xanus will be #1 on the charts, man. Yeah, the #1 best-selling novel ever. It will not beat the Quran and the Bible. The Bible sold like 2 billion copies, I heard. The Quran sold 1.5 billion. My book will not sell that, but it'll beat out all the novels like Harry Potter. Game of Thrones, I think, sold almost 100 million copies. Lord of the Rings has sold, I think, 500 million copies to this day since the early 50s. Yeah. What's #1, Ivan? Harry Potter. Harry Potter's #1. Harry Potter sold 600 million copies to this day since inception. Lord of the Rings has sold, I think, about 500 million copies since the early 50s, like 70 years ago when it was released. Because Lord of the Rings was released, like 71 years ago, 1954, I think, when Lord of the Rings was released, I think, yeah. So 71 years ago. Yeah, it's an old book. When J.R.R. Tolkien released it in the 50s, right? Early 50s. Yeah. Yeah. No, I think Lord of the Rings sold 150 million. It's 150 million to like five. I think it's 150 million. Lord of the Rings, yeah, Lord of the Rings sold 150 million copies since the early 50s, I think. I have to do some research on that. I don't remember. Yeah. Yeah. How much you win? Oh, I'm 262. But yesterday I did not eat food. I did not get junk food. I ate food. Although food I ate was pretty junky. I ate like potatoes, like these chicken fingers and like spring rolls. Yeah. And today all I ate was what I ate earlier in this video. I ate eggs and the leftover chicken strips with pickles. Yeah. I would have ate at Coco Fruit today, but they sent me home early, so yeah. The boss told me, Ivan, either you clean or you go home. I decided to go home. I don't want to clean. Yeah, I don't feel like cleaning. I decided to leave. Yeah. But to be fair, I work Saturdays alone, and yesterday was even busier than today. Today was pretty dead at Coco 40. That's why they had to send one of us home. And because I worked first, I worked at 8:30. I went home, obviously, and the other guy is alone. Yeah. How top notch will Sky Stores be? I think something like Incredibles, man. Like everything is pimped out. I have a high end office. Yeah, I want to have a beautiful office. I'm putting 300 million. If I make 10, I'll put 300 million towards my office. That's unheard of, man. Yeah, most big companies don't put 300 million towards their offices. They put maybe 20 million, 50 million towards their offices. A 50 million dollar office is fucking nice. I'm putting 300 million towards my building projects, man. My game studio, my main office, my visual effects building. I'm gonna have a beautiful Gran Turismo studio lot, something beautiful. With a golf course, grass and everything, yeah, like that picture I showed you, yeah, beautiful studio like that, man. And a jet like Incredibles. So the Xanus starts flying my private jet like Incredibles. That's already unheard of. And then they see my luxury office, and I take them out to dinner, and they see my 500 window house, like Incredibles. Yeah, my company blows out the water. Yeah, me and VJ Scotch is coming blow out the water. Yeah, man. Some sour. Yeah. James Gunn's Superman, guys, is coming out, what, in like 2 weeks? Like 14 days. Today's the 28th, I think. Yeah, like 14, 13 days. So 2 weeks, guys. James Gunn's Superman's coming out on theaters July 11th. I recommend you guys get your popcorn and watch that movie. Yeah. Will you watch on theaters, Ivan? Yes, Superman I will watch on theaters. But I'll wait a good maybe 3 weeks when the buzz dies down a little bit, and I'll watch it. Because I know the first 2 weeks is going to be crazy packed and everything. I'll wait like maybe 3 weeks, and I'll see it once the buzz dies down a little bit. I'll watch it on theaters. I'll bus to Hull, and I'll see it on theaters. Superman. I'll get my popcorn. No, I'll get like the hot dogs. Maybe they're. I might get a popcorn. I'll just get a popcorn. Like a medium-sized popcorn. I'll get like candy and chocolate. Yeah. See the movie on theaters. Yeah. You're welcome, Warren, was I blowing your movie. That's how nice I am. Yeah. So I have a lot of aspiring authors, fancy authors. They make that one mistake. Yes, they try. They think they're telling a good story by wowing you with their English literature. Look, man, like as an author, your job is to tell an entertaining story, not trying to wow the reader with your poetic words, man. Like tell a good story. Stop focusing on wowing the reader with your English literature, man. You're gonna bore the reader. The info dumping, right? Yeah. They think they're telling an amazing story by wowing the reader with their English words, but they're not. You're boring the reader if you do that, man. If you just spend pages describing stuff, no, man. Get to the point, get to the characters, tell an interesting story. Stop focusing on trying to wow the reader with your English literature, man. Nobody cares about your how good your English writing is. They care about how good your story is. Hence, writing a book, writing a novel, you're supposed to tell a good story, not write some beautiful essay about a story, some Sarah. Because that's what they're pretty much doing. They're writing a beautiful essay about a character and a land. You're supposed to write a story. Tell an entertaining story. Stop trying to wow the reader with your poetic English literature. Nobody cares how good your English writing is. Yeah, yes, it's cool to know that you're a good English writer, but focus on the story, man. Telling a good story. Stop trying to wow the reader with your poetic words. Some Sarah? That's my advice. Because when you guys read my book, I don't even use half those words that those guys use. And yet my story is so more entertaining because I'm an amazing storyteller. I'm not that good of a writer. My writing is mediocre. Half those English words they use, I don't even know what half of it means. Yet my story is so more entertaining. And I use simple words when I describe stuff. And yet my story is beautifully written. Yeah, beautiful story. Samsara? Yeah. How long is your book, Ivan? My book will be probably about 800 pages. 800 pages around my book will be, right? Because I went on Google, how long is a 200,000? My book is about 200,000 words. So you're looking at, like, it says on Google 800 pages. 780, 800 pages, my book will be around 760 pages. It's a long book, but it's not as long as Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones and Way of Kings, right? Yeah, the Harry Potter books are not as long. The Harry Potter books are like 400 pages or something like that. 500 pages, whatever it is. But it's a 7-book series, so it's long, obviously. Harry Potter, right? Yeah. My story is one story told in 3 volumes. The volumes are separated, but it's one story. Samsara? What do you think fans like the best? Either Volume 3 or Volume 2, but I think most fans probably going to say Volume 2 is their favorite. Because it's the bridge chapter, the bridge volume. But some fans might like Volume 3 better, because Volume 3 blows your mind away more. You can argue the writing is a little bit more raw when you read it. A little bit more raw in some sections. Most of it's top-notch, but you're going to catch a bit of rawness in some sections. As you even catch rawness in Volume 1 and Volume 2 too, as you guys read. Some of the dialogue is a bit stiff. Ivan could have used better word choices, but it's still entertaining, and you're turning the page. It's a masterpiece. Because I have no developmental editor, but I don't want a developmental editor touching my story. They can ruin my story. Yeah. Xanus is too good. I don't want anyone touching it. Hence why I'm not going to hire a developmental editor. I don't need a developmental editor. My book's already a masterpiece. I just need someone proofreading my book. My spelling, punctuations, typos, all that stuff. Some sentence structures. That's what I need to fix. Everything else is good. The story is good. It's a masterpiece. Yeah. Samsara? Yeah. Man, I wish Ivan could work for us. Yeah, the book publishing houses. Yeah, Ivan's fucking gifted, man. He can write fantasy and he can even write romance. Yeah, he's fucking gifted. Yeah, the book publishing houses wish I could work for them. I'm not selling out, man. I have my own keys. The Xanus man's mine, and I don't want these guys touching my story and perhaps ruining my story. The editors can ruin my story. Yeah. But guaranteed, if I truly publish, the editors would make very little changes because Ivan's book's already a masterpiece. We don't really need to fix it, right? It's a fucking masterpiece. But they would obviously edit a few stuff like my stiff dialogue in some sections. They would edit that out, obviously. But they might even change my title, change my characters. They can ruin my story. That's why I don't want anyone touching my story. But traditionally publishing, guys, even though traditionally publishing, you get to be a famous author in a public eye and everything, and your books at bookstores, you lose control of the controlling right of your novel. So if the editors want to change your characters, change your plot, change your title, like, they have that right. And your international rights, your film rights, your audiobook rights, you lose all that too. That's all in the hands of the book publishing houses. You're just their puppet, and they pay you the royalty check. They make you write the book, and they put pressure on you to finish the book, but they take the majority of the money and they give you the peanuts. The only good thing about traditionally publishing your book, you get to have your book at a big bookstore like Barnes and Nobles and Chapters in Canada, but you lose your control of your novel. Well, self-publishing is online. You maintain full control of your novel. Yeah, novel's yours. You own the rights to it. Some Sarah. That's how it works, right? Yeah. So, Ivan, what option is better, self-publishing or traditional publishing? It just depends on your goals, man. If you want to be a famous author, be on a Jimmy Fallon show, be featured on magazines, get interviewed in front of all these big venues, then traditional publishing is the way to go if you want to be famous in the public eye. If you just want to be rich and more simple, then self-publishing is a better option for you. Yeah. The self-publishing, you will not get interviewed on a Jimmy Fallon show and have book signing sessions on stuff. You'll get YouTube interviews, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, obviously, but you're richer. You make more money if your book's a hit. Obviously, all the more the money goes to you. That's why a lot of people who have large followings nowadays, a lot of them self-publish. Like Daniel Green wrote a book, Breach of Peace. He self-published because he already has a big audience. If you have a big audience, it's common sense. Self-publish your book. You already have an audience. Why the fuck would you traditionally publish and have the publishing houses take the majority of your money? Unless you want to be famous and traditionally publish. But if you want to be more simple, just have YouTube interviews and you make a lot of money off your book, self-publishing is a better option for you. Because you own 100% of the rights of your novel. That's why self-publishing, in my opinion, is better. Obviously. For someone like me who has the keys, it's common sense. I self-publish, obviously. I have the keys. I can market my book myself. And I maintain and control the right of my novel. As traditionally published, I have to sell it to the gates. I'm not selling out to the gates. Xanus is mine. I'm sorry. Yeah. Yeah. Almost done the video, guys. Talk to me 15 minutes, I'm done. Yeah. I'm gonna go pick up my check. I didn't take his bike there, pick up my check. Yeah. I even want you self-publish on Amazon because Amazon, I don't make as much money. Amazon, I think they give you 70% of the money. Whereas Lulu, I get 80, I get more. That's why I'm self-publishing on Lulu. Yeah. But you only get 80% on Lulu if you sell directly on Lulu. Because for Lulu, you have an option whereby you have worldwide distribution. You partner with Lulu and you also partner with other companies like Amazon and other companies. And if you do that, then you don't get your 80%. You get maybe 50% or something like that. But I'm self-publishing directly on Lulu. Print on demand on Lulu. I get my 80%. Lulu gets her 20% of the royalties. So my book deal is the same deal as my movie deal pretty much, right? The 80-20 deal, yeah. I get actually 78% because PayPal takes like 1.8% of my royalties. So I make 78% of the pie. So compare 78% to the 15% you get traditional publishing. Yeah. Even if your book is a huge hit, you only take 50% of the pie. And the publishing houses take the rest. Because they're greedy pigs, man. Yeah, those guys. The author should be getting at least like 50% of the money, man, and they wrote the book. But because the traditional publishing houses are the ones who edit your book and they design your cover and everything, that's why they take the majority of the money. Because they're greedy pigs, man. They take like 85%, 95%, 90% of the money, man. And they give the author the peanuts. Yeah. Peanuts, man. Yeah. Yeah, man. That's why self-publishing is where it's at, man. Yeah. Because if your book is a huge hit and you self-publish, you make a lot of money, man. Way more than what you ever make in traditional publishing. Obviously. The only better thing about traditional publishing, you get the public eye fame. And your books get to be at bookstores. Like your beautiful print is at the bookstores. You get, if your book's a hit, you might get interviewed on a Jimmy Fallon show, Jimmy Kimmel show. You get interviewed in front of large fans at a venue like George R. Martin, Stephen King, but you lose control of your novel, man. The publishing houses own your book. You're their puppet, man. You just write the book, they edit it, and then they sell it, and they take the majority of the money and they give you the peanuts. So it works. 15%, 10%. The only way you'll make 50% is if you're like a best-selling author. If you're not, and if you are a best-selling author, but you only sold maybe 100,000 copies, they might give you maybe 10%, 8% of the money. Yeah. Samsara. But the authors who are best-selling, who sell millions of copies, those authors obviously get their 50% because they're making the publishing houses a lot of money. But the ones who sell maybe 5,000, 10,000, 50,000 copies, those guys probably get like their 7% of the pie. But imagine how much money you would make if you sold 5,000 copies and you self-publish. You make way more money. If you take like 70%, 80%, 65% of the money, man. It's yours. You control the brand, yeah. Samsara? But most aspiring authors, they want to. I want to traditionally publish. They want to have their books at a bookstore, and a lot of aspiring authors are not confident enough with their writing. Yeah, I'd rather have the publishing houses fix up my book, and I want to be famous. Yeah, if you want to be famous, then traditional publishing is obviously the way to go. But it's a daunting process. You have to find a literary agent, and don't forget your agent also takes 50% of your earnings. Don't forget that, right? Hence why the traditional publishing system is a greedy system, man. So let's say you only make 7% of the royalties. Your agent's taking 50% of your 7%. Yeah. Obviously. Keep that in mind, guys. You have to find a literary agent, which can take time. It can take 2 years, 3 years, even 5 years to find a literary agent. And once you find a literary agent, now that agent has to get you a book publishing deal, which also takes time. So let's say it takes you 7 years to get a book publishing deal. Had you self-published, you could have published 2 books in 7 years. That's why nowadays a lot of authors are actually going the self-publishing route. Because they don't want to go through that daunting process of finding an agent, getting rejected, and finding a book publishing deal. Well, I'll just self-publish it myself. Yeah, write the book yourself. You hire your own editors and you release it online on Amazon, Lulu. It's much easier for you, but it's more expensive for publishing. You got to save up a bit of money for that. But it's worth it because you own 100% of the rights to your novel. Sorry. Yeah. 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 Why, if you don't like writing books, no, man. I love writing books. Writing books is fun too, but it's not as fun as being a movie star, right? Being a movie star is my ultimate dream. It's not being an author. Yeah. Visual will tell me, yeah, Ivan, like, yeah, even though writing books is fun, I'd rather be a movie star with you, Ivan. Yeah, Visual will tell me, yeah, Ivan, like, fuck writing books. Let's be a movie star. Yeah, I'd rather be a movie star than write books, right? Writing books is fun, but it's not my ultimate dream. I love writing books. It's fun writing books. I might write they're unique and everything. I'll have a blast writing that, but I'd rather be a movie star than be a famous, successful author. I'm sorry. Yeah. Yeah. Ivan, initially you wanted to be a full time author, yes. When I started my book series, Ivan's book series, remember that, guys? My old videos back in 2019. I wanted to be a full time author. Yeah, remember how I said in that video, you sit on your yacht, you just write your books. Then eventually I thought about their unique, you know what I'm saying, and Xanus, and when I was in a clean slate, I'm like, nah, man, being a movie star is my dream. And that's why I started it off with that video. My first producing video. That's what started the whole Sky Source thing, right? And now I know what I want to do. I want to be a famous movie star with VJ. I don't want to be a famous author. It's not my dream. Some Sarah. Yeah. Ivan, you could do both. Yes, but like the money I make off the movie is enough. I don't need more money, man. And once I do the movie, I'll be very tired. I don't feel like writing a book. I just want to enjoy my life with VJ, right? After we film the movie. We enjoy ourselves in our new files in Vancouver. We go on vacation. And we do the next movie, The Greatest Escape of Keanu Reeves. Sorry. After Xanus. And that's what a lot of fans are going to ask me. Why are you going to write more books? I'm like, no. I'm not writing more books. I'm going to be how about, I have something better. I want to be a movie star, guys. You're going to be a movie star? Yes. I'm going to make Xanus into a movie. I want to be a famous movie star with VJ, yeah. Yeah. So, Ivan, you're really considering writing Very Unique? Maybe. Depends. After I get my book proofread and edited, obviously, and design my cover, I might write Very Unique. I'll make more money, right? Yeah. Obviously. But for Very Unique, I'm really going to plan it out. Because romance is difficult to write, man. You have to be good at portraying emotion. I'm going to plan out all my chapters a little bit, brainstorm a little bit, and then when I write, I'll let the story grow on me, and that's how I write my masterpiece for Very Unique too. It'll be a masterpiece too, obviously. I'm a creative genius. Yeah. I want to write Very Unique on my laptop. I don't want to write it in that computer. I want to write it on my laptop. What I'll do is I'll write the prologue first, see how that goes, and if it's really good, I think it will be because I'm a creative genius. I'll end up finishing the book. But Very Unique is it won't be as long. I'll only have maybe 12. I like keeping my chapter amount short, but I have longer chapters. Obviously, because I'm more about quality than quantity. I'm not a fan of having like 80 chapters. My book, like Zane's, only has like 14 chapters, but yet the chapters are very well written. Very Unique might only have maybe 15 chapters, but I'm gonna make sure they're gonna be long chapters, really long chapters. Maybe 20 pages a piece, right? 18 pages a piece. Yeah, and on the computer. How much words? It'll probably be maybe a 120, 30, 40,000 word novel. I'm done. You know, it just depends how my creative mind flows, right? Yeah, yeah. I mean, what's the one genre you can't write? Science fiction. Because I don't know. To write science fiction, you have to know about science. Science fiction is fake science, but you have to be knowledgeable a little bit in science. That's why science fiction, I can't write that. In order for me to write, I have to study it. Study science a little bit, and that's how I... Science fiction is also difficult to write, too. But the hardest novel, hands down, is fantasy. There's a reason why a lot of aspiring authors, they avoid fantasy, because fantasy is difficult, man. You have to create a fictional world and make your characters in that world and your world believable. That's very difficult. Whereas science fiction, you're mixing in fact with fiction. Hence the word science fiction, right? Yeah. So you can relate to it more. Romance is difficult too because you have to be good at portraying emotion, love, right? That's pretty difficult on a page too to portray. Obviously. Yeah. I see my point. I see your point. Yeah. 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 And one note to say, guys, traditional publishing, it's very difficult to get an agent. And a lot of aspiring authors want to land with the big five book publishing houses. But your chances of getting in the big book publishing houses is very slim. Chances are you might be signed with a smaller book publishing house or maybe an independent one. Obviously, not one of the big fives, but it's a pretty big publishing house. But every aspiring author's dream is to be signed with Penguin Random House, but it's not easy. Yeah, man, it's not easy. You receive loads of rejections, man. It's crazy. Hence why self-publishing, you don't have to go through all that. You just write your book and you promote it and you release it online for your fans to buy. And if your book's a huge hit, you'll make way more money than you ever will with traditional publishing. Yeah, do you know how rich J.K. Rowling and George R. R. Martin and Stephen King would be if they self-published? To be fair, when they wrote their books, there was no self-publishing at the time. But do you know how rich they would be if they self-published? They'd be loaded, man. Much richer than they even are now. J.K. Rowling will be worth her billions, man, if she self-published. When Harry Potter was released, there was no self-publishing back then because there was no internet back then, right? Yeah. Internet came out like what, the late 90s? 1998 around, or 1999? That's when the boom of internet came out. But now, because you have internet and you have Amazon, Lulu, you can self-publish your book online. And you maintain controlling right of your novel. Sarah. Yeah. And one thing I'm going to say, all you aspiring authors who want to be a successful author, you really got to ask yourself, is this really what you want to do? Because the writing industry is very competitive. It's very difficult to break into. And you have to be very consistent with your writing. You don't want to keep your fans waiting. If you want to self-publish or traditionally publish, you got to be a consistent writer. You don't want to have the fans wait 10 years for your next book. You got to be a consistent writer, especially if you traditionally publish. The publishing houses are going to put pressure on you to finish your book. Or self-publishing, you don't have to worry about that. But even if you self-publish and you have a big fan base, you don't want to keep your fans waiting for your sequels. Obviously, at the same time, you don't want to write a shitty book. You don't want to rush out your book and write a shitty book. Make sure you write a good book, but you don't want to keep your fans waiting like George R. R. Martin's doing with Winds of Winter. Fans have been waiting 13 years, and Winds of Winter has not been released yet. Because George R. R. Martin is obviously, he has writer's block. He's procrastinating. He's not working on his book that much. That's why it took so long. Some saying. But the truth is, most writers write part-time. They have a full-time job because most books, you'll be lucky to sell 1,000 copies, right? Most authors don't make that much money off books, hence why they do it part-time. You have to at least make your $50K a year to write full-time. But to make $50K, you gotta sell a good, maybe, if you self-publish, you gotta sell a few thousand copies to make your $50K a year. Let's say you sell 3,000 copies, you price your book at $30. 30 times 3,000. Yeah, you make 90 grand. So you only have to sell, like, I don't know, 1,000 copies. 1,000 copies times 30, you make 30,000. So you gotta sell a good 1,500 copies. Yeah, you sell your book for $30, you sell 1,700 copies, you make your $50K, you can write full time as an author. If you self-publish. If you traditionally publish, you gotta sell more. You gotta sell like maybe 5,000-6,000 to do it full time. Because you're only making like your 7-8-5%. But if you self-publish, if you sell 1,800 copies, you make 50 grand for yourself, that's good money. You can write full time, you can quit your job and write full time. And then you grow your fan base. Then your next book you sell maybe 2,000 copies and you make your $70,000. I'm sorry. That's how you build your brand as a writer. Yeah. I'm sorry. Because the book publishing industry is very difficult. You have a lot of competition, man. Yeah, man. Yeah. Becoming a successful author is even more difficult than becoming a successful actor. Obviously. Because acting you just act, right? Yeah. Obviously with writing you gotta really have you're telling a story. So you gotta entertain the reader, man. It's difficult, man. The book publishing industry is difficult. It's not easy to break into, right? The publishing industry is difficult, man. It's harsh. Brutal and harsh, man. Yeah. And one thing about traditional publishing is the literary agents and book publishing houses, they can lower your self-esteem because they give you reasons why they reject your manuscript. Your manuscript's not that good. They can really lower your self-esteem. Well, self-publishing, you don't really have to worry about that, except for the fans when they read your book. But you don't have to worry about receiving rejection letters and having all these people shitting on your book, man. So I'm saying, hence why, yeah, you can lower your self-esteem too as a writer, man. As an aspiring author. Hence why self-publishing is better, guys. But I know most aspiring authors want to traditionally publish because they want to be famous. I'm just saying, man, it's a daunting process, right? With the literary agents, the rejection letters, yeah, it's a daunting process. I mean, hence why you got to really think about your career. Do you really want to do it full time or do you want to do it part time? Yeah. Some saying. That's why Xanus will be the best man ever written. And it'll be the best one we should ever make. I'm going to call this video the Xanus book and about the book publishing industry. This is where I'm signing off. Peace. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Stay tuned. I might make my go-through series tonight. I'm off tomorrow, so I'll make my go-through series tonight, most likely. Stay tuned for that world. This is where I'm signing off. Peace, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Peace out. Xanus.